Yo, it's the kid. It's your boy. The boys are coming in. The boys are coming in. It's New Year's Eve, so everybody is obviously running a little bit late. They're doing a few things, but everyone is in. I think your boy, as you can see here, Abdullahi. I think he's getting his food ready. So it is what it is, you know. So happy New Year's Eve to everyone. Hopefully, for those who have already brought in 2021, cheers to you guys, and for anyone else, happy New Year's Eve, man. We've got the Sconteriga here in well. So this is we're gonna run things a little bit different for this episode. We have like a very specific topics and so forth. This is just gonna be a lot more of a psychological freelance way that we're gonna run this episode because we're gonna keep it real. And I think that it's a time in which we have to be honest. We have to put everything on the table and be fully transparent with what we're talking about with regards to Chelsea and so forth. So let me bring him out. So I'll bring your boy Ablagi because Ablagi basically has to go and eat. So we're gonna do like basically half an hour of just talking about our views on Chelsea and where Chelsea are at right now, and then afterwards we'll then bring the guy. So afterwards we're gonna do questions. We're gonna have like a question and answer for maybe the last half an hour, 30 minutes of the show. So the show's gonna be like an hour, and then we'll then be able to ride through and then say what's up. So I think it's the key thing now to now start and give our thoughts on this man. So Lampard. There is a civil war that is happening right now at Chelsea. There is a civil war between the proper Chelsea fans and I like to just call them and dub them real Chelsea fans. That is the category in which I put myself in. Guys who are realistic by what exists. Let me first start by saying, because again, I told you, we're waiting for the other guys to come in. The other guys are going to come in when they come in. They're just running late. Let me start by saying this. I was Lampard out from the moment that he was announced. The moment he was announced, I was like, this is a bad move. This is the wrong man to take over. Because if you look at the caliber of managers that had been from Chelsea, whether you look at Ancelotti, Hiddink, Conte, Sarri, these are guys with the required managerial experience and expertise to manage a club like Chelsea. Because this is where the proper Chelsea fans are not being realistic. Abramovich exists. Abramovich is real. Deal with it. Once he came through and he then invested all that money and he showed you the kind of chairman he was like, this is no longer the Ken Bates era. This isn't the Frank Leboeuf, Marcel Desailly, Gospoye era. It's a wholly new era. And it's an era of winning. Because it's an era of which I am going to invest. And once I invest, I expect something in return. Because we're living in a world in which to compete, you need to invest. You need to invest. This is the money I'm going to give you. Therefore, you now have the pulling power, business being Chelsea, and the money to buy the very best players that you need. So, shout out to my man Eddie in there. So Eddie, why with the shades? Okay. So it's but let me just go on my thing. So my thing that once Abramovich came into it, it was very clear what the direction of this club was, which is that once I invest, I expect something back in return, and it's expected to win. So once you looked at the caliber of managers that Abramovich was hiring, they were top tier, because Abramovich was like, who do I need to buy in order to win? Who do I need to buy in order to compete? That is the key thing that was needed. That was the key thing that was needed. Wait, Abdullahi, are you there, bro? You're there. Okay, still muted. So
I'm there.
okay, all right, bro. Okay, you're there. So that's my thing.
I'm using Jollof. Lampard cannot kill me. I cannot agree
Look
more.
at this film. So my thing is this is that, and this is the problem that I'm trying to get into the thick-headed skulls of some of these so-called proper Chelsea fans is, do you honestly believe Frank Lampard is in the same class as any of the managers that Chelsea have had under Abramovich? The answer is no. We move on to the next one. Do you honestly believe that, let's say this is a rebuild. Let's just say it's a rebuild, which I think still is stupid. Let's just say this is a rebuild. Why is Frank Lampard the man to rebuild? Because what I'm trying to get into these people's stupid heads is you need to respect the discipline of being a manager, on being a coach. All because this dude was an amazing player. Let's say he was the greatest player ever that Chelsea ever had. What the heck does that have to do with management? So, because for me, I don't give a damn about being a proper Chelsea fan. I just want to see this team win. And what is required to see this team win. That's all I care about. I don't give a damn about being a part of a family. I don't give a damn about being part of a stupid dumbass cult. I don't give a damn about being a bunch of yes men where, let's all, no. I have a brain. I have a flipping brain. And I know that's based on the players Chelsea have acquired and the squad they have, they shouldn't be drawing to Aston Villa. They shouldn't be losing to that Arsenal team. They shouldn't be losing to Wolves. They shouldn't be losing to Everton. There is no excuse. And you can't just blame it on the players. You just can't. So the issue we now have right now is maybe I got fooled. Maybe I got fooled because before the Arsenal game, I was like, Champions League, who knows what we're going to do? Premier League, Ziyech is coming in, boom, boom, boom. I was hyped. I was like, okay, no, Chelsea, they're about to say something right now. But now, what I'm now seeing on the Twitterverse amongst so-called proper Chelsea fans are, no, this is a rebuild process. This is a 3-year process. I don't understand how you invest 200 million and it's a 3-year process. Pep Guardiola was given a large amount of money. He used it, 100 points, 98 points. Okay, first season, he didn't win a trophy in his first season. Second season, they vastly improved. They gave you 100 points in the very next season. And in the season afterwards, they gave you 98 points. And the issue that we have here, and I think this is what I want to be clear, is people need to separate. This is what I'm trying to get into people's stupid heads, because a lot of you people are just very stupid. And I just want to try and get it through your heads. You need to separate Frank Lampard, the player, and Frank Lampard, the manager. You need to understand and respect the talents of what being a manager is. Because some of you don't. Because a lot of you had thoughts of what you said about Conte, about Sarri, and so forth. And you wouldn't keep that same energy with Frank Lampard because of what he contributed to Chelsea. Because you buy into this dumbass, cultist, mythical thing of like, oh my gosh, if you come against Lampard, he's one of our own, blah, 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 and so forth. Because there are a lot of people, and I've seen this online, that if Chelsea finished 10th or 11th, you would still back Lampard. If they finish 15th, you would still back Lampard. Which is insane. Because people will look at me with a straight face and they will tell me that you will still back a manager who, let's say, finished the season trophyless, no top 4, but still say he's the right man. That's, don't worry, this is a long process. That is stupid. That is arrant, illogical stupidity. That somebody can invest so much into a club, spend this amount of money, with all these amounts of players, and you will accept the complete arrant nonsense and rubbish that comes out of his mouth, saying that this is just a process. We can build up. Because I'll keep it real with you, and then I want to give it to other guys. This is being real. Frank Lampard doesn't care about winning with Chelsea. He doesn't. Frank Lampard has a specific agenda. Because I have connected the dots through the interviews he's been saying. His agenda is flying the flag for English managers and bringing in the English academy players. Frank Lampard will be happy if Chelsea finish 6th or 7th, but there is a strong English core and he is trying to introduce and promote more English managers coming to the thing. That's what he's about. Hence why the kinds of things that he's saying is not a man who is under pressure. And when I hear the crap from a lot of you so-called proper Chelsea fans, you are not willing to put him under pressure. But if we are being fair, and you spend this amount of money, and we know this is one of the best squads in Europe, easily one of the best squads in this league, and we know about the injuries that Liverpool have had and so on and so forth. When you look at our reality, and they still come with a straight face and say, "Oh no, it's a process. It's going to take time." That's because you are buying into this dumbass myth that you feel that you have to have a duty to just defend everything that Lampard does. So just to end it, I want to give it to other people. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that if Lampard is left as manager, it's not something that excites me because I can already tell that this guy, he's inexperienced. He isn't adept at management. This isn't a Pep Guardiola situation, which was a very rare situation for a guy to come into a situation and be so successful and breathe in a brand of football that dominated the early part of the decade. Something like that doesn't happen every single week. So, as I said again, this is what I've always said, and I even to quote David, this team is going to win in spite of Lampard rather than because of Lampard. They will come top 4. They will come 4th or 3rd because they've got Ziyech. And once Ziyech comes back, he's going to make a difference because Ziyech is an amazing player. And there are many amazing players in this team. But with regards to what I want, which is a trophy, either the Champions League or the Premier League, I have no faith that this guy, who is a rookie, whose only experience is 1 year being a Derby County manager, and I did the research, he got 1 point less the season he took over than Derby, because Derby County got 6th the previous season, but had 1 point more than he had. So he didn't really do anything new or improve with for Derby County. So just keep that in mind. The manager of Chelsea didn't take a team to a World Cup semi, didn't win a World Cup, didn't win a Champions League. This man has 1 year experience of Derby County, taking them to 6th.
HH, can you read this?
I can't. What does that
This
say?
this is the mediocrity we are facing in 2020.
Hold it closer to the camera, bro.
Frank Lampard has the full confidence of Chelsea's main director and de facto chief executive Marina, so as manager of the club, and will be backed in January.
We are done. We are done.
So, you're done. So since you're here, I just said to guys that basically it's going to be a bit different. We're just going to just roll everything in one, just talk about Lampard, Chelsea, and everything. Then I'll do like a quick throwback picture. Then for the last half hour, we're going to just take questions, and that'll be it. So Daniel, just again, everything in one: Villa, Arsenal, Lampard.
Has everybody already spoken?
No. It's just
Go to Abdullahi or Eddie.
Abdullahi.
HH, you already know my thought already.
Yo,
This
just
guy needs
checking.
to
Can you
go.
guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
He needs to go.
Okay.
I keep saying it. Like, it needs to go, man. I don't know. I really don't know the proper Chelsea fan. I was listening to Forward, Nini, and the other Chelsea kind of proper Chelsea fan. They were like, I'm Frank Lampard in, but I'm on the head. I'm covering my eyes, like, because it's a couple layers. Like, what the hell are you covering your eyes? Either you say you're in or out. At this moment, I don't know what philosophy we are playing at the moment. This team has no pattern. No, we have no structure. We have nothing to guarantee to give me the assurance that we're going somewhere. Yes, the team can be built around one player, Hakim Ziyech. If Hakim Ziyech is not playing for Chelsea Football Club, it's completely over for us. People may say United have Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Fernandes is making United look much better. Kevin De Bruyne is making what's called Man City look much better. Harry Kane, Son is making Tottenham Hotspur look much better. Please tell me, who is making Chelsea look better? Hakim Ziyech. If Ziyech is not playing, we're screwed. So why would you rely on Hakim Ziyech to bail us out? Are we turning to Hazard FC or Ziyech FC at the moment?
Yes,
It doesn't make any
It,
sense.
it is Ziyech FC. Yes. That's
So
that's the point.
it doesn't make any sense when we start turning to Ziyech FC. It doesn't make any sense. Now, if Ziyech doesn't play now, we are screwed. So no football. So HH, see, this is 2020, and we're already getting to 2021. We sign up for Frank Lampard. We have to accept it. We have no choice. 5-year plan, 10-year plan. We have no choice. Now, at the moment, we have Vibe FC. They just keep let people banter us.
On that question. So let's say this is like a 4-year plan. Are you fully behind and supportive of a 4-year plan led by Frank Lampard?
You see what this is where I'm gonna see if truly Roman is the.
Sorry. But by the way, sorry, guys. Cheers, guys. Cheers. 2021. Cheers.
My problem
Daniel,
is
I said cheers. Daniel, I said cheers. Daniel, I said cheers.
My problem is it's not even about. My problem is not even about what's called. It's not even about Lampard himself. My problem is Roman Abramovich. If this Roman Abramovich, if it's this ruthless enough, like people say he's ruthless, I want him to give Lampard till like February, March, April. If the result doesn't change, I want to see Roman, this ruthless Roman. Because people say, what if Chelsea finish 5th and we finish like 70 points, we finish 5th, maybe he wins the FA Cup, he doesn't win the Champions League, Roman will keep him. That Roman is too soft. I'm saying it to everybody now. Roman is not soft. Marana Granaskia isn't soft. Whatever that lady said to Roman, hey Roman, this man is not doing anyway. It's time to go. Roman will tell you, it's time to go. Yes, tomorrow morning. What if
Roman? My friend, what if Roman has changed? What if Roman has said, you know what? I believe in Lampard. I think Lampard is a man to take us forward, and I think I want to give him time. I think that I need more stability. This whole sacking of managers and so forth is not the way Chelsea needs to go. I need to back somebody from West London, from the town, who knows Chelsea in and out, and this is the man that can lead us at the end of a 4-year cycle, can lead us to Champions League victory. That we just need to give him time. So
I've been supporting Chelsea since 2000, I think, 3, when Claudio Ranieri was there, before Roman took over. When Roman took over, we have Ose. We have Ose. After Ose, it was Black to Ancelotti, those kind of stuff. Those managers I've mentioned won us Premier League, won us FA Cup. From there, we came back to Roberto Di Matteo, Andres Villas-Boas, Antonio Conte, Mauricio Sarri. Those managers won trophies. And what did Roman do? What does he do? He sacked them. That's what he does. Roman is not patient enough. Roman wants success. Like I keep telling you, I have a big business. I want to invest. For example, I went to Africa, I want to invest money. I have a manager, I have a co-workers, I have everybody. The first year, I had a gain. I was like, wow, what a gain this year. So next year, let's make everything fruitful. Then my gains start coming down from 100% to 20, to 10, to 5, to like, I'm looking at my manager, I was like, what the hell is going on? Why is it depreciating instead of appreciating? What's going on? If you can't give me any concrete answer, it's gone. It's out of the door. It's done. Because it's not improving my business, it's depreciating my business. That is Roman. He spends money to what? To make gain. He doesn't spend money to make loss. Roman is not a loser, he's a winner. So you're having Lampard. This is the problem with Chelsea made. Why hiring Lampard? Lampard wasn't ready to take the job. For me, it was a wrong idea to hire Frank Lampard into the job. People may say Chelsea has a transfer ban. It was only one that can take the job. For everybody listening, John Terry was approached to take this job. Terry rejected it. He said, no, I am not ready to take this job because it's not my time yet at the moment. I need to have a managerial experience first. Then I will be ready to take over this job in 2, 3, 5 years to come. He said it. John Terry is wise enough.
Gerrard as well. Gerrard also said that.
Exactly. He has
because what I did as a player does not mean that I'm ready to be manager of Liverpool.
Exactly. So I don't understand Lampard logic and people's logic because he's a club legend. We need to give him time. I'm not giving Lampard time if I'm not seeing improvement. I keep repeating it. I keep saying it. I need someone in the chat or people around here to tell me, what does Mason Mount offers in this team? What does he offer? People say he's the heir to Frank Lampard. What does he offer? We have played 16 matches or how many matches now? Mason Mount have played every match. And I keep asking myself,
friend, he's dispensable, man. He's dispensable.
Indispensable what?
Dispensable, man.
What? He doesn't offer anything to change. If another manager comes in into this team, I can guarantee you, Mason Mount is not playing. It's not starting this match.
Wait. Let me bring this boy, Eddie, man. Talk
It's
to me,
not
man.
starting. I don't know. I'm just like I'm down with Lampard.
You too talk, my friend. Eddie, I beg.
Yeah, yo. Can you guys hear me? Just checking. I'm testing this new mic, so
Eddie, why you wearing shades? Eddie, why you wearing shades, man? Eddie, why you wearing shades?
First of all, man, you know what? I'm in 2021, so positive vibes only, yeah. Positive vibes only, 2021.
Cheers.
I'm gonna try a smile play for the whole of this. Hey, cheers, people. I'm gonna try not to rant, because you know what? I told you guys so. I told you all this like 6 weeks ago. I told you Lampard was playing safe. I told you Lampard wasn't the guy for the job. I told you he's a rookie. I called all this and people said, Eddie, you're a troll. Eddie, you're this. Because it's the first day of 2021, I would like to message the chat, please. I need apologies. I'll take them in super chats. £2, £5. Please, I need apologies from every one of you who spoke crap on that day, telling me to give this fraud a chance. And so that's that. But moving on, I think HH said we're discussing the whole thing as one bunch. So let's go to the beginning. Arteta owes Lampard a nice bottle of wine, because Lampard is the only reason why Arteta still has a job today. If Arteta didn't win that FA Cup, he would have been sacked during Arsenal's run, because the only defense Arsenal fans had of Arteta was that FA Cup. And if Chelsea had won last weekend, we would have sent Arsenal to 16th or 17th. Arsenal fans would have called for Arteta's head if that happened, because we discussed this last week that Arteta was going down once Chelsea gave them that ass last week. But what did Lampard do? He spent all day wrapping a beautiful 3 points on Christmas Day and delivered it to Arteta on Boxing Day. I hate to say it, but I told you guys so, innit? Because last week I said the only reason why we're not confident of a win is because of the manager. You know, and I saw the line.
But Eddie, I didn't see that Arsenal loss coming, man. I'll be real with you. I didn't see Arsenal loss coming.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw the squad, and first thing I thought was I saw the Chelsea squad first, and I thought, wow, because Rich James and Ben Chilwell, I didn't expect them to play. And I went, I hope these guys are fit, because if they are, then there's no excuses. You can tell they weren't fit throughout that game. But still, man, Aubameyang was missing. The so-called top center back, Gabriel, was missing. And Partey, he was missing too.
Damn good song. It's a damn good song. That is a damn good song.
I truly Arsenal fans with that song. But hey, they had their top 3 players missing, and we lost to Emile Smith-Rowe. So I figured out something.
It's bad.
Lampard's number one goal in management is to make English youngsters look good. I figured that out. Because Emile Smith-Rowe now has an English career because of Lampard. Hey, think about that, people. But hey, look, that Arsenal loss was bad. I mean, Chelsea's basically revived the Arsenal season this year.
Do you know how sick that is?
And hey, look, I'm gonna try not to say that club's name because I've been trolled, I've been insulted by their fans. Someone sent me a table and they're 6 points behind us now. And it's peak for me if they get over Chelsea, because I just might not come on here anymore and say anything if Arsenal if that club gets over Chelsea. But I think what's more sickening than Chelsea's losses is Frank Lampard's press conferences these days of post-match comments. Because I told you after the Everton game that this guy was dribbling in press conferences. This was worse on Sunday. He blamed the players. Lampard, you blamed the players for
lazy.
For putting in 34 crosses to Tammy Abraham. Think about that, people. We put 34 crosses in, and Olivier Giroud did not step on the field. What is something I said last week? I said Arsenal were going on a run where their former players had an agenda against them. We're either getting a goal or an assist. So, by the law of that, yeah, Olivier Giroud stepping on that field would have done something. Yeah? And those bullshit halftime subs. Why? Can someone explain to me why Jorginho was brought on again? Because
I already told you, 2020, we are dealing with a rookie. We have no choice. We'll continue this way. We'll continue. We are dealing with someone who is dumbass, who doesn't have brain, who doesn't have sense.
Taking Werner off.
We have no choice.
But why did you take Kovacic off? I will get to the other kid that stayed on the field later. But why did you bring Havertz on for that game? Can somebody explain those subs? Because if Lampard is not doing any subs after the 70th minute, he's making some stupid subs. That's what I've noticed so far. Because he's been forced into making subs, and he panics and makes the wrong sub, I think. And then, man, let's just forget about that game. But moving on to the Aston Villa game. You expected a response. I didn't see the first half because the time was an awkward time around here, and I wasn't gonna wake up to watch that after that Arsenal thing. So I got up, and I think towards just before the goal, I got up, and I saw the goal, then watched the second half. But for God's sake, yeah, what in the world was Christensen doing on that field?
Didn't he lead to one of the goals by staying down injured?
Yeah. Why? What did Tomori do so bad? I mean, we need to get free Tomori trending right now because I don't know what that guy has done so bad. He looked like our second best center back last season. And when Thiago Silva signed, I remember, I don't know if it was us here, but I remember talking to someone and we want to see how he plays next to Zuma and Tomori. Because these two dudes are fast, they've got recovery pace, and they can actually defend. Why in the world am I seeing Rudiger and Christensen? And Christensen couldn't even get himself up to go defend, leading to the goal. And Lampard coming after that game saying he got a response from the team. Really? That's the kind of response you want to see? He came after the game and said, I got a response. Did you get a response, Lampard? Oh, yes, I got a response. What? That's then led to, the debates we've been seeing on Twitter, like, our fellow friends have been saying, and I've watched some of them, and I'm just watching them going, did it take you this long to figure out we didn't have a style?
Eddie, you know what's funny pass? Forward, HH best friend said it. He said, I am Lampard in, but I'm in defense of Lampard. He said it. He said, I am Lampard in, but he's making dumb and stupid decisions that I can't even control. Forward said it was like, I don't know what's going on with Lampard anymore.
Oh, wait,
I support Lampard. I don't know what's going on.
Real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to derail anything, but this is,
This is Gatlock, isn't it?
This is Gatlock. This is Gatlock.
Gatlock, you're a pagan.
Sorry, that just out to man.
All right, but yeah, look, the whole one thing I don't get is the whole Lampard in, Lampard out debate. It makes no sense to me. At the end of the day, yeah, the board are gonna do what they're gonna do. So people arguing Lampard in or Lampard out doesn't make sense. All I just want is for you guys to give the same energy you gave to the old managers of this club to Frank Lampard. Because if this was Mauricio Sarri, yeah, Daniel posted it. Y'all were singing F Sarri Ball in the stadiums. It would have been worse if no one was in the stadium, because Twitter is worse than, well, maybe I haven't been in stadiums, but over there, but I think Twitter is worse because the kind of stuff you see people say on Twitter behind burner accounts and stuff, it's just mad. If this was Antonio Conte, you you guys would have teased the man's English because the man doesn't know how to speak. So I want the same energy you'll give those other managers to Frank Lampard. Because I'll tell you something, Roman did not spend 250 mil to be in a top 4 race. I repeat,
Thank you.
250 mil to be in a top 4 race. Top 4 should be a lock. I don't care if you're a rookie or not. And for those pagans who want to defend Lampard using Derby County, yeah, get out. Stop it. Stop it.
Those people defend Lampard. They're H friend. Forward, Nini. H friend. Forward, Nini. They're too much.
Everyone is my friend. Everyone is my family. I'm a very friendly guy.
Let me expand on HH's point before. Yeah, I don't think people understood it. Derby finished in 2017, I think, or 2018. Well, the year before Lampard came with 75 points. The year after, Lampard brought in Mason Mount, Tomori, Harry Wilson, and the King. And even mid-season, Ashley Cole. So he upgraded the squad, yeah, and still finished 1 point less than the season before. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes in school, it was either a pass or a fail. Did Lampard take Derby to the Premier League? Yes or no? But people want to defend Lampard with Derby County. Like, hey, look, if you guys wanted a process, yeah, I'm not saying go bring this guy back. I'm not saying go bring him back, but the guy you should have kept was Maurizio Sarri. Because he was someone who had done the job before. Because Chelsea fans always want to bring up the comparisons between Lampard and Klopp. Don't. Klopp had built. Yeah, every time I hear Chelsea or every time I hear these guys defend Lampard, it's like, oh, Liverpool went through this stage, Liverpool did this. I'm like, shut up. There's a difference here. Klopp had been to Mainz and spent 7 years building something there. That's a process. He had been to Dortmund, spent 8 years there building something. So if Klopp tells me after 2 years that it's a process, I can believe that and go, yes, I've seen you do it twice before. What in the world has Lampard done in management for you to give him Chelsea Football Club and he will sell you a flipping process? I don't want to hear him, man. I don't. He has done nothing. He needs to go and learn his job. Like every Chelsea youngster, yeah, that doesn't cut it, Lampard needs to go on loan to Bristol City, yeah, for 2 seasons. Go learn his job.
It's true. Go to Scunthorpe. Get some experience in Scunthorpe, Kettering Town, Doncaster, Dulwich, Totteridge, and Whetstone.
He needs to go somewhere and learn his trade. And in 5-10 years, come back. Maybe then we'll consider you. Look at what Gerrard's doing. Gerrard is a smart man, man.
Smart man.
Dude stayed in Rangers. He's not bothered about the Liverpool job at all. He's just there going, I'm going to learn my thing. I'm going to do... Look how good he's doing now.
Because you see, go somewhere else that you don't have an attachment to and go and fail there. Make mistakes. Exactly. Learn. There's an arrogance about it. You feel like if you are good enough to waltz in here and learn on the job and make mistakes, because Lampard, you're not Pep. Pep is a supernova. Wow. And even Pep, he still works with that Barcelona B team for a season. Hence that's why he brought in Busquets, who he already knew for a year. And you know what? Last I checked, there's no Lionel Messi in this Chelsea team. There's no Samuel Eto'o in this Chelsea team. There's no Carlos Puyol in this Chelsea team. So this isn't a Pep Guardiola situation.
But there's good Mount.
Look.
So round up so I can come to Dan.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to round up in a minute. Lampard is also that bad, yeah. That people who defend him, all these Lampard inners in quote, yeah, keep saying the squad haven't all played together. Well, the only player missing at the moment, I think, is Ziyech. And if you're telling me we're waiting for players to come back before we improve, that says something about the manager, that he cannot get the best out of the squad he has. It has to depend on the players that he has. And the worst thing I feel like Chelsea will do in January is give Lampard 70 million to go and buy jollof rice. I can get jollof rice for $12 out here in Australia, Lampard. If you want some proper jollof rice, I got you, man. Don't spend 70 mil on rice. Yeah, exactly. Abdullahi will give you jollof rice for free.
Abdullahi, stop making me hungry, my friend. Stop making me hungry.
Sorry. The worst thing Chelsea will do is give Lampard 70 mil for rice, because I feel like if he's gone at the end of the season, another manager will have to deal with all that. And lastly, for all you Mason Mount merchants, yeah, I went back and looked at this guy's record in the Premier League. You know, Mason Mount has played double the minutes. Yeah, more than double the minutes that the out of form Kai Havertz has played. And he has one more goal contribution. One more goal contribution than Kai Havertz. But Havertz is so out of form, isn't it? Y'all don't want to see Havertz in the team because he's out of form. One more goal contributions. In 50 Premier League games, Mason Mount has 8 goal contributions. That's 1 goal contribution every 6.5 games. Is that your creative player? Because y'all want to throw stats in my face about chances created and all that. Chances created means just I give you the ball and you shoot. That's a chance created. Doesn't mean nothing to me. But goal contributions, hey, let me break it down even further. Yeah? You take out set pieces. Mason Mount has 2 goal contributions in 50 games. And you want me to believe this guy's a creative player. You want me to believe he's the most creative player in our midfield. Stop it, man. Get this kid out of our midfield. Bring some proper ballers in, yeah? I want to see Kai Havertz in this team. I want to see Conte in this team, man. I welcomed Daniel the other day because I told him about Pogba. I told you all about Pogba the other time. If you can get Pogba, go and get him. I don't want to see Rice. And then let's ride. But all this nonsense needs to stop, man.
I only said Pogba because of the video with Zuma. I just think that friendship's cool. So for them to be together, it'd be nice.
I don't care. Yeah, exactly. If you want to have friends. Yeah, Lampard wants friends at the club. He's trying to bring Declan Rice. His best friends with his son, Mason Mount. Hey, Pogba and Zuma are best friends.
Have you seen the video that's going around of Lampard's comments about Paul Pogba?
Oh.
They sound quite
no.
Graham Souness-ish.
What did he say? Wait, is this on Twitter or?
Yeah. But anyway.
All right, Daniel, hit it.
All right.
Final thing.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just gonna round.
This is his fourth final thing, by the way. But
I'm just gonna round up on this point. Yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna round up on this point. For those idiots who clipped the goal against Aston Villa, yeah. For those idiots who clipped the build-up play against Aston Villa, and hashtag Chelsea don't have a style of play. God will judge you guys. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. You got something to say, HH?
No. I'm just looking for that Pogba quote. Go for it, man.
So first things first. Is it cruel? General cruel? This isn't a green screen. This is actually like the back of the room that I'm in. So there you go. All right. You guys said a lot. A lot of it I'm probably gonna repeat. So there you go. First things first. Lampard is going to get time because his name is Frank Lampard and he's managing Chelsea. We have to think the reason he has this job in the first place is because he's a Chelsea legend and his name is Frank Lampard. So I'll shoot him some bail in that sense that we all probably nobody wants to see Frank Lampard fail. All right, especially if you're a self-proclaimed Chelsea fan.
I want to see him fail. He gotta go. That man has to leave. I want to see him fail. He's not fit for the job. He is not.
What I'm saying, Abdullahi, is like in a perfect world, we would want Lampard to succeed, but we don't live in a perfect world. That's all I'm saying. I will say this before I kind of get into my point, that I do feel some of the criticism is unfair to Frank Lampard, in the sense that whenever Chelsea win, we don't give Frank Lampard any credit. or I say we and like the royal we, not necessarily myself. I'll get to what I feel personally. But when Chelsea win, Lampard doesn't get much credit. It's all given to the squad, especially from people who are quite critical. Like, yo, the squad played very well. Giroud played well. The defenders played well. Silva, Zuma, they all played well. Lampard doesn't get much credit. Then, when Chelsea lose, all of a sudden we kind of peel away from the squad, and now we focus our energy directly to Frank Lampard. And it's like, well, Frank Lampard can't manage. For me, I feel like that's an unfair expectation. It's a cop-out for many people who just want to be negative for negative's sake. It's like Lampard doesn't get any credit when the team does well. When the team does badly, the squad suddenly fades into the background, and let's just talk about Frank Lampard. I don't think that's fair, right? Which is why I believe my kind of way of looking at things has kind of been correct the whole time. It's that the scale on which Frank Lampard can alternate a game or change a game is not that great because of who he is. He's a rookie, sophomore, junior manager in a sense. He doesn't have the tactical acuity or acumen to change a game positively or negatively in some overarching fantastic manner that I would give him credit or blame for either result. Now, what he can do, and what we've seen, especially with Hudson-Odoi playing on the wing, or Hudson-Odoi on the bench with Mason Mount on the wing, is he does have the capability of scuttling and sabotaging the team to a point where results go poorly. And that's why Mason Mount at the beginning of the season was a pretty big deal, because it's clear and obvious if you have a fit winger on the bench in Callum Hudson-Odoi, then why in God's name would you be playing a central midfielder in a wide area? That doesn't make sense. That hurts the team. We criticize you for that. So that's number one, or number three. But personally, again, I was never giving Lampard credit or blame. I hope. Like, I feel like I've been pretty consistent in that endeavor, because I don't believe in his capability as a manager, as Abdullahi or as Eddie were saying. So for me, the squad gets the blame, the squad gets the credit. If we want to talk about the Arsenal game, the Villa game, for me, most of that goes to the squad not playing fantastically well as they would do against lesser teams. And that's part of the reason why we saw at the beginning of the season, when you play a bad team, the talent in the team is good enough to get a result. When you play a better team and the players against you are better, they're just smarter, they're better technically, the manager's better tactically than you. You need something from the bench, which is why head coaches and managers and all these people exist. It's because the players need assistance against other people who have a brain about them. When you're going against, it seems, an Arteta, Mourinho, Ancelotti, anybody in the top half of the table, basically, because I don't think they've beaten anybody that's above ninth, and they've lost to people who are below. You need something else, and Lampard isn't that. So that's what we criticize him for. But it goes back to kind of the beginning of why he's here. He's just here because the club was in a bad way. That Eden Hazard was leaving. There's a transfer ban. The club probably didn't look like an attractive prospect to many of the upper managers in Europe. Like, why would I come to you if you're missing your best player? You're not going to be able to buy anyone. I'll just wait. Lampard saw the opportunity. As Abdullahi said, John Terry was given it first. If you want to come, you can come. But John Terry, in his wisdom, if we want to give him a slight credit on this podcast or YouTube show, he was like, nah, I'm not ready. And he's going about his managerial career in a way that I think is more responsible. I'm being the number two to somebody for a number of years. I believe Derby County have even offered John Terry the job. I feel like I saw a rumor about that recently. And if he goes there, he now has the managerial experience of being number two to Dean Smith for Aston Villa. Aston Villa are better than Chelsea this season, it seems. And that's a positive thing. So then he can go to Derby, and he'll probably stay there longer than one season. He'll probably stay there 2-3 if he can get it. And then from there, you could look at John Terry as being, now we can add your number two experience, your number one experience. And then you get the captain, leader, legend, all that comes with John Terry. Frank Lampard jumped the gun because I think he understood, I'm never going to get this chance again. Nobody's ever going to offer me the Chelsea job again. unless it's 15, 20 years down the line or whatever the case may be, and he didn't want to risk it. So I'm going to come with my guys from Derby, Jody Morris, who's also a Chelsea guy, the Edwards guy. We're going to hire some people, and this is going to be my chance. But because you jumped the gun, because we're in this situation now that the manager doesn't have the tactical nous, at least it seems. I'm not saying he can't get there. I'm just saying right now he doesn't have it. So he doesn't have what's capable, I feel like, to get the targets that the club is and will aspire to, which is top 4 at minimum, Champions League, quarter, semi finalists, somewhere in that picture, like the best 16 or best 8 teams in Europe, and obviously competing for domestic cups. That's Chelsea's expectation since 2003. We can go back to the 80s, and we have all these proper Chelsea fans who talk about the dark days in the early 90s and the 80s and talk about, well, being 6th in the Premier League table isn't really that big of a deal because I remember when we got relegated.
Who cares what you remember, man?
That Chelsea doesn't exist anymore. Whether for better or for worse, in your opinion, it just doesn't exist. The team now is built in Roman Abramovich's image, and that image is we win at all costs. This takes me to the very beginning, like when Sarri left, and we started hearing Frank Lampard is going to be hired. I was like, whoa, no. The reason I don't want this is not necessarily because I don't believe Frank Lampard can't be a capable manager in 2030. It's that in 2020 or 2019, whenever this was, I don't trust him now, and I like him. There's no Chelsea fan, very few. I'm sure we could find one or two on Twitter that I hated Frank Lampard when he played for Chelsea, but the vast, incredible majority of Chelsea fans have an affinity towards Frank Lampard, which is again why he's getting time and why he will get time, why he was even hired. We want to. I want to. If Frank Lampard is going to be Chelsea manager, I want to see him succeed, because just the image of Frank Lampard lifting a Champions League as a manager or an FA Cup or Premier League, that would make me feel good. It was like, yo, this is a continuity story. I remember in theory, not like visually seeing, but I remember like playing with him in like FIFA 2002 and all these kinds of things. Like this same young guy that people really didn't kind of believe in, that eventually became, a great scoring midfielder and an intelligent player. Like he eventually became Chelsea manager and won trophies. Like it's a great story. But he's not ready, and I'm terrified. This was then that if Roman gives him the job, and and Roman is consistent with the behavior that he's displayed his whole time, if there's a season in which Lampard slips and fall below the standard, I never want to wake up to read from Twitter or whatever the case, Frank Lampard has been let go as Chelsea manager. We thank him for his service. Boom, boom, boom. Because number one, that probably ruins it ruins the story that he's been sacked from Chelsea Football Club. That's not a good thing to have. Number two, the manager that he does become, he probably can't be that anymore because it might do something psychologically, at least in my mind, like Chelsea sacked me. That's a bad thing. Three, if that ruins or severs the tie with what I believe Lampard could be in, again, 2030, 2035, when he's actually been seasoned and he's been in this for 10 years. By the way, Ollie was a manager for like a decade before he got Manchester United.
Ollie's not in the same
I think that's interesting just to say.
It's not in the same carnival.
I'm just worried. I was worried then that this could just go completely left. And I feel as if it's trending in that direction at this moment. And I think it has been for at least the past year. That it's evident that just the fine details and just the idiosyncrasies of being a top flight manager he doesn't have access to at this point, which is why I mentioned Terry, because I think Terry now will probably be in a better way whenever he tries to go to the next level. Which then brings me, lastly, to Maurizio Sarri. And this point
fuck Sarri ball.
And it's not so much about that, although it's an evidence of the point, but it's not the point itself. You can't ask me as a person who I would assume wanted Sarri out after a season, See, now there are some people who they wanted Sarri, they wanted Lampard. So I'm not really talking to you at this point. I'm talking to the people who are happy to let Sarri leave. He was only here for a year or for a season, months probably. If you like, I don't know, probably 11 months probably from like June to whenever he would have been let go. You can't ask me, hey, Lampard needs time, but you weren't willing to give Sarri time. And Lampard is past where Sarri would have been in terms of games managed. And people in the stadium were talking, fuck Sarri ball, fuck this. I don't see this Sarri ball that was rumored to be coming from Napoli and all this kind of stuff. I look at that as just two-faced in a sense so Lampard deserves time because reasons unknown, but a man who was able to take Napoli to a level that they hadn't been in decades is now somehow wasn't worthy of being the Chelsea manager. I need you to square that with me. Then once we start looking at the deeper statistics of points, I don't know if any of you guys have seen this graph that's going around of Lampard's points earned per Premier League game or points per match, essentially PPG, if we want to use like NBA terminology. He's the worst of the Roman Abramovich era. This is including Andre Villas-Boas, Di Matteo, Benitez, all of those guys. Lampard is on a level with Andre Villas-Boas. Now, this is even more poignant, I think, than Sarri. Because I remember, I don't know how many of you guys were on YouTube, or I'm sure Half Hope was doing videos in 2012 or 2011. But I was around. I was 21 years old. This is like, I'm a Chelsea guy, right? At 21 years old, I'm still, I'm holding on. I'm singing the songs or whatever it is. I remember when Villas-Boas was out. I had a Twitter account in 2011. I saw what you guys were saying about Andre Villas-Boas. It was like, this guy has to get the fuck out of the team. He's ruining the team. And to his credit, or to his non-credit, he was. Andre Villas-Boas was ruining the team. I think we saw once he left, the players just decided to take over. And, they eventually won the Champions League. I bring up Villas-Boas because I wonder something. Firstly, those fans who were against Villas-Boas in 2011, are you riding with Sarri, or riding with Lampard, excuse me, even though Lampard has had probably double the time that Andre Villas-Boas has? Yeah, and the results are comparable? That's one thing. Number two,
have the same win percentage. The same win percentage.
Exactly, around the same win percentage. And lastly, and this is something I would love to quiz Lampard on this, because this is a point directed mostly to him. When Villas-Boas was in charge in 2011, there was a game that Chelsea, it's a famous game where they played Napoli and they lost. Lampard was benched, right? He was benched with Cole, Essien, and they lost the game. Villas-Boas eventually left. There's a thought that the old guard, right, they wanted Villas-Boas out because Villas-Boas' mission was to revitalize the team. This old guard that got to the 2008 Champions League final, the 2009 semifinal, and lost to Barcelona, that team was finished. Roman saw it. Ancelotti came in. They won the double, but the Champions League was what he wanted, but it still wasn't enough. So we need to get new blood. They bring in the Porto manager who had just won the baby treble, won the European Europa League, Spanish, Portuguese League, and Portuguese Cup. So let's bring in this guy. They pay $15 million for Villas-Boas, and they're like, okay, we're going to give you free reign, and you're going to be the young guy. He was about the same age as Lampard, Drogba, Terry. Like, they were all even. The old guard is looking at this guy like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I'm older than him. I've won more in my career than him. I probably know football better than this guy. He was with Mourinho. So he's just, who is this little guy that's now coming trying to be above us? So the thought is that the old guard, meaning Cech, Terry, Lampard, Drogba, Essien, Cole, Maluda, even Alex and Anelka to an extent before they were sold, they tried to get him out. And they succeeded in that eventually. And they brought in Di Matteo, who then let them have the team. Lampard now is the exact type of manager that Lampard as a player would try to get out. And I would love to know if you could get inside Lampard's brain, if I could make you a player and I put your resume and what you've done as a manager and I put that in somebody else's body, and I make you a player, and you're now under him, would you want that manager out the same way you did Villas-Boas, given all the numbers and things that we've seen?
Wait, hold up. Are you saying that Villas-Boas's resume is the same as Lampard's resume as a manager?
That makes it even worse because Villas-Boas had trophies. Lampard is far less qualified as a manager than Villas-Boas was at the time. Villas-Boas kind of actually made sense. And if you could see by the things that he was doing, that he was actually correct in a lot of the things that he was doing. He was just doing it too fastly and with a group of players that had way too much power. But I wonder, what was one of Lampard's first moves? If anybody remembers. It was selling David Luiz to Arsenal. Why would he do that?
We had control of the dressing room.
Because David Luiz played with Lampard. He knew him. And Lampard knew that this man has a lot of control in the dressing room. And if anything goes left, he will be able to do to me what I have done to others. And now we've reached a point where I feel like if this Lampard reign was someone else and Lampard was a player, he would be trying to get this version of this coach out. And I'm very curious what he would think about that idea. Obviously, he wouldn't answer and he'd be quite offended. But I'd love to know, if we get in his mind, what he would do in that scenario. And I think we've already seen it.
So look, I think, basically, even as Daniel says,
I don't know if I worded that correctly to where it makes sense for everybody.
No. It makes.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
It makes sense. Just like I say, well, their resumes are not the same, but I get the idea where you're coming from in terms of what Villas-Boas was
trying to do.
So basically, look, I think we're in a situation now where Chelsea are where they are right now, and Lampard is going to now get backed, and that's what's going to be the reality of this situation.
AJ, you know what pisses me off in this Lampard stuff and everything? What gets me real frustrated is
what is it, man?
Every manager we've been getting, take out to Mourinho 2015, apart from Mourinho, the other manager till this year, none of them will get backed. None of them were backed. None. Antonio Conte, Mauricio Sarri, none was backed. Frank Lampard is back. We spent 259 in just one summer. This guy was backed. Now he's getting back again in January.
No. But see, that's the thing that just annoys me. The thing that annoys me is when the transfer ban was up there, I was like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Because I was thinking of, damn it, 6th, 7th, boom, 4th, wow. But, as Daniel pointed out, it's one of the lowest points total for a fourth quarter in 15 years.
Yeah.
So,
actually,
cool.
like, it was Chelsea and Manchester United tied for 66 points.
Yeah.
Last season. So that kind of explains kind of the trashness of the league. That the only other team that qualified for the Champions League with less points was Chelsea from 2012, but because they won the Champions League, so they knocked Tottenham
65
off.
points. 65 points.
But qualification from the league, it was Chelsea in the last 15 years.
So my thing is, cool. The transfer thing was cool, but now the fact that you've now spent the money, you've bought these players, and I don't want to get into a whole back and forth of like, oh, did he really get Havertz? Did he really get Tegucigalpa? I don't give a damn. Unless you can give me hard proof, you vouched for Werner, Havertz, Ziyech, Tegucigalpa, and so forth. So they are your responsibility that they perform.
I have a question, Have Hope.
I have a question. Okay.
Oh, but my question to the panel is, could Lampard be doing good things, but just still not be the right guy? Meaning, you could get Werner. In theory, that's a good purchase. He's a okay talent, I guess, at this point. I don't want to call him a great talent because of the form that he's in. Havertz, I think we can see that there's something there. Chilwell, okay. Silva, that's okay. And all the rest of the other people that he's bought. Those aren't bad purchases if he's kind of orchestrating them in a sense. But just because you can identify talent doesn't necessarily mean you know what to do with it once you have it.
Oh, no. 100%. See, the only player that I vouched for was Ziyech.
Read some super chats, by the way.
No, guys, I'll get to super chats because look, we just have a lot to get off our chest, but we will definitely read all of your chats. Ziyech was the only guy that I vouched for, where I've seen him. This guy is quality. I never was a fan of Werner. I never was a fan of Havertz. I just applauded Abramovich for flexing and just getting those guys. But just for me, I was never part of them for the eye test. But you are right, though, is that Give Nagelsmann, Havertz, and Werner. He'll figure it out because Nagelsmann is just a good manager. So he understands these are this guy's weaknesses, these are his strengths. This is where he needs to be positioned on the field. This is how we need to play as a team. This is the way in which I want him to now be in the attacking phase, in the defensive phase. But because Lampard doesn't have that experience, he just sees Timo Werner as, oh, he scored loads of goals for Leipzig. He'll score loads of goals. No. There's a reason why he scored those loads of goals, because he was played in a very particular position, in a very particular role. So if you have a better manager, cause a better handle of this team, yeah, in a way that the talent is there for this team to genuinely be doing battle with Man City and Liverpool. Specifically this year, where Liverpool have lost Van Dijk and Gomez, and City still don't have Aguero. This is the season where Chelsea should be actually up high, based on just how the kind of injuries that have ravaged all the other teams. So it would be crazy if Chelsea finish fourth or below fourth this season of all seasons, based on the score that they have.
Do you really think they'll finish fourth?
Yes.
Given all of the competition that's there, you think they'll eventually just come good?
Yeah, no, basically, because I think someone even asked me this before that. Do you think Chelsea will get top? Yeah, it was Red Devil. I said yes, they will. And they will because the quality is just there. And they'll just get enough points to get fourth.
Like, I can't trust that. Because right now...
No wins against the top 10, HH. No wins against the top 10.
Eddie, I tripled their Lampard to not finish top 4,
that's
bro.
a lot of pressure on Ziyech. And I think Eddie mentioned this as well. A lot of people are coming with the critique of people who are angry. They're saying Lampard hasn't had his first 11. He hasn't had a fit first 11 for a run of games. For me, I think we've always, and it confirms the point that I've always been trying to make, that the results are squad dependent. Because if you gave if you go through and you look at like the managers who are managing in the Premier League right now, Lampard is probably 16th to 15th in terms of like the quality. Like, you would want 14 other managers before you would want Lampard, at least. And I'm being kind,
for sure.
And I'm being kind. Like, that includes like Steve Bruce, Chris Wilder, Scott Parker, and then maybe you could argue, Ollie Arteta or somewhere in there. But like any like Ancelotti, Klopp, Mourinho, Hasenhuttl, like Guardiola, like you would want those names before you got to Lampard. But the point is, oh shit, did I lose my point when I was trying to think of the names? I'm like, what was I saying before I started listing stuff?
Oh no, so
the squad
dependency. It's the idea that you're criticizing Ziyech isn't here. Werner's not playing well. Isn't part of being a manager being able to manage when you don't have your best? So if Pep Guardiola doesn't have Kevin De Bruyne for a season, he manages to win a Premier League. How is that explained? Well, it's Pep had to come up with different solutions to get the results that he needed. If Lampard can only play one way that includes Ziyech and he doesn't have Ziyech, well, then figure something else out. That's your job description. And if you can't do that, then that goes to the point that whenever you play well, it's because you have the players available. And when you don't play well, it's the players again.
Also, Daniel, and that goes to the point of like, you said that, we are being disingenuous.
I'm never going to wear shades, guys.
so you said we're being disingenuous that, whenever Chelsea win, don't give Lampard credit, but whenever we lose, we blame him. The very fact is two things. The first thing is, there is no excuse, whatever the injuries are, that you can't beat Everton, you can't beat Wolves, and you can't beat Aston Villa, and you can't beat that Arsenal team, who are playing a bunch of testy babies.
The Arsenal loss, I'll give you. The Wolves loss, maybe. The Everton one, not quite, because of who they're managed by. I trust
Daniel, I will not give you the Arsenal loss, because Lampard literally lost that match, not the player. It does himself.
Well, it's the idea, Abdullahi, that no matter who Chelsea have, they should be able to beat that Arsenal team. In my opinion. Manager, no manager, you could be out there with a caretaker, you could put me out there. The players that Chelsea have available should be able to beat what Arsenal were providing. if that makes sense. So for me, I look at the players again. I look at the squad, and this isn't to say Lampard isn't guilty. Of course, he makes mistakes, but again, I've already told you from my opinion, he can't move it, but so far left and but so far right.
But we said it before that you even mentioned it that Lampard still has a role to play even with the players going on the field, because you look at that Arsenal games, I feel like we went into that game with two fullbacks who weren't match fit. They were probably fit physically or just near fitness, but they weren't fit like to play a full game of football, and you could clearly see that. We know some players were playing out of position when we had fit wingers in the squad, like a Timo Werner. I still don't understand why this guy keeps coming off the bench, because we said it last week, and I think I mentioned it as well, that this guy needs to sit out of a couple of games so he can recover. But why the hell are you playing him out of position for half a game this game, and the next game you're bringing him off the bench? Give him a full rest, man. We've got players coming back now. Use them. So I don't get the whole excuse with that, man. So, and also, I mean, I get your point, Daniel. But my thing is, if I go with your point where if we win, it's regardless of the manager, and if we lose, it's regardless of the manager. What happens if we're going to losing run?
Well, see, my point is, unless Lampard is doing something clearly that's sabotaging, then we can blame him for that. But if he's if the lineup makes sense, then it's up to the players on the pitch at that point, because that's the best that Lampard can provide. So my point is coming from a place of just I've accepted what Lampard is and what he can do at the moment, which isn't good enough, which is why I told you 2 weeks ago, if Nagelsmann was available, I would take Lampard to a cliff. The cliff of bricks. I would take him. I told you that. But it's the idea that you
called Lampard a GPS, man.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Have I been proven wrong?
We've laughed. At the moment, since right now,
Be respectful.
I think Lampard. Do you know that thing that you hang on the
air freshener?
Air freshener. I think this dude might be the air freshener now, man.
But yeah, so like my point is understanding that Lampard, the situation that he's in and what he's capable of, I can only go with my blame with him so far, because it's above him. Like, the reason he's here is because of Granovsky, Abramovich, and just the situations that were above him. He's here. He can only do what he can do. So I can only blame him but so much, because I expect you to be a brick. So when you do brick things, I'm just like, I kind of told you. Kind of like how Eddie started. It's like, I told you. I've been observing these things for months now. What else are you expecting?
No, but I think quickly, and then I'll take your
I got a question.
Easy, quickly.
Man, let Abdullahi talk.
Yeah.
No, I'll let her talk. So Danny, see, my thing about this is that. Oh, and I lost my
Abdullahi's stressed, bro.
Right.
Lampard is making me stressed.
Abdullahi has been stressed in that Arsenal game. I'm not gonna lie.
No. That Arsenal game, I think because if you think about it, before the Arsenal game, I was about to pop this up. I was like, 6-0 Arsenal, the relegation zone. I'm going to go watch AFTV and Ty. It's going to go crazy. We're just going to laugh at Arsenal and so forth. Oh my God, it's going to be under pressure of Brighton. Since that Arsenal game, I've been in a mode of depression, because I've just come to realization that, Daniel, don't do that eye with me. No, it's a depression of all of that stuff that I pumped off.
Oh.
I've just been made to look like a complete fool. Because literally,
it was like 24 months of or 18 months just coming back on you. Like, I did semis minimum. I really said
no, everything. Not literally like semis minimum, treble, the edge, like Premier League crown, all that stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, maybe this team is now going to view top 4 as a victory. And the sick thing is, I'm not gonna allow Lampard to do this.
Exactly.
Don't turn this into a top 4 club of like top 4, like the main aim is a top 4. No.
We've seen what happens with Arsenal. We've seen what happens with Arsenal when you start celebrating top 4 as the victory or the main thing.
I will not allow that. You cannot allow that.
Because
I will not let my standards drop off.
It's the idea, and I know Abdullahi wants to talk, but when you ain't, what Kanye West had a bar where it's like, reach for the stars, so if you fall, you land on a cloud. That kind of deal, where if your aspirations are the title, if you don't get the title, You'll get top 4 because you're aiming high enough. Once you start aiming for the top 4 and you don't even consider the title, if you don't get that, you're now in Europa League.
There we go.
Now, once Europa League becomes the standard, as we've seen with Arsenal now, we're a Europa League club. We're trying to be in the top 6, not even the top 4.
It's going down.
When
down,
you
and
don't
down,
reach
down.
that, you're now mid-table. Are they fighting relegation? Are they not? So if Lampard comes and he's now, hey, we just need to get top 4. Top 4 is our aim. You need to aim for the title in order to get top 4.
Right.
Because I'm happy you said that. But do you know the owner of Chelsea? Daniel, do you know the owner of Chelsea? It's not Gassidic, it's not the Glazers. That man is mad. He's a bastard. You guys are playing.
I agree, but at the same time, he's allowing this to happen. He at the same time, Abramovich allowed this to happen because he allowed Lampard to come. Abramovich had to agree that Lampard will be the head coach of Chelsea. He had to agree to that, otherwise it wouldn't exist.
No, wait, okay, real quick, because I want to go to comments. Wait, okay, what did you guys think Abramovich's logic was based on what we know this guy is? What do you think his logic was of hiring Lampard when you know that this is a guy who's the best manager out right now? What is your resume? Give him money, boom. If you don't do it, I sack him. So what do you think his thinking was in getting Frank Lampard, knowing that he did not have the same kind of resume as previous managers?
I think the problem is when Sarri was sacked, 2 managers pops up before Lampard, Pochettino and Massimiliano Allegri. Immediately, Roman said, "I don't want Allegri because he has so many Italian managers." He said, "I am done as an owner playing a pragmatic football." Then that was when I questioned Roman that you are a winner. You need a winner in your team. Yes, let's play pragmatic. At least let's create the identity first. Sarri is gone now. Have an identity. Win the EPL first. Now we have an identity. Now you can talk to Sarri. Can you blend your football into an attacking force? You have this player. We will support you. Tell us the player you want that can create a possession-based football. Allegri is experienced. He will tell you, I will do it as long as I have this player, and this player. That's Allegri. It comes to Poch. Poch is an attacking manager. Poch just left Tottenham Hotspur. He won't take over Chelsea because he just left. So now we're stuck with Frank Lampard. So Lampard was like, the way I play is possession, high pressing, running, fullback, boom, cross, boom. That's a possession-based football. Club Guardiola style. Roma was like, Club Guardiola style. How many years should I give you? 3 years. Okay. Give me 2 years.
He has like the skit in his head. How many years should I give you? 2, 3.
3 years? Okay, 3 years. When I give you 3 years, give me 2 years to see what we're going to do. Now we lost Hazard. The transfer ban is there. No manager wants to take over. I get that. That is out of the equation. Lampard took over now. Where I blame Lampard, where I blame Roman is, we know Lampard is not the right man for this job. He's a rookie. He is a rookie for me. That guy just gets his apprenticeship certificate yesterday. So he doesn't even want to become a manager. He doesn't want.
The guy from the road, man.
That is where I blame Roman. We move from Sarri being an Italian manager to Allegri. Allegri is an experienced manager. Man has won Italian Scudetto how many years?
Yes, someone with experience, man.
He has Champions League twice, final twice, it twice or 3 times. This guy has an experience. Not that he's playing with brick players or not experienced players. This guy has I don't understand the logic in which Roman just tell Lampard, boom, take over this team and let's go. Now the problem now is we're facing the same problem we're facing under Sarri. The proper Chelsea fan doesn't want to agree. Is the club legend, give him time. Club. I don't know yet, Club. Club won the Bundesliga in Dortmund.
Twice.
He won it. He's a winner. He is a winner. Do not compare Lampard to Club. Don't compare Lampard to Club. Okay. And I've been saying, I will repeat it again. I've been saying it. I will repeat it again. If he just given 5 matches from this January, 5 matches to improve this team. If out of that 5 matches, I can guarantee you, Lampard will not last the end of the season. 5 matches: Man City, Fulham, Leicester, Burnley, and Tottenham Hotspur. That is 5 matches.
That's my fear. My fear is that this is going to last.
5 matches. If you lose that 5 matches, I'm saying it right now. That's 5 matches if you lose it.
won't.
You see those Lampard is a club legend. Lampard is out. Because those club legends will be officially no. He has to go.
Sorry, okay, so
He has to.
He said it was three things.
Oh, me?
Yeah, about Abramovich.
Did I forget the 3 things? Okay, the first one was I don't think that many people wanted to come under the situation because of the transfer ban and losing Eden Hazard. So maybe you ask Allegri, but Allegri's like, I think I'll give it a season or 2 sabbatical. Let me see if Manchester United are interested. I think Poch, Allegri, all those guys were just waiting for Ollie to fail, but the juju exists, so he hasn't left yet. So that's number 1. Number 2, if you look at kind of what was happening in Europe at the time, there's a man from Marseille, and his name is Zinedine Zidane, and he just, however he's done it, he just went ahead and won like 3 Champions Leagues in a row, and La Liga once at the time. Who is our Zidane? If you're Roman Abramovich, it's kind of a trendy thing to do. Just look, Lampard is Chelsea's version of Zidane. Maybe if we give it to him, considering all the other circumstances that are happening, perhaps it makes sense. So he'll take the job, he'll come, and he'll be happy.
Chelsea have Cristiano.
Third thing, Sarri had the fan base split. There were so many people who are Sarri in, Sarri out. I agree with the way Sarri's playing. I don't agree. The match-going fans didn't want him. The people on Twitter who are like, football purists and whatnot were like,
Sarri caught hero. No, Sarri caught hero and Jorginho caught hero.
People on social media that were more like the purists were like, nah, you got to give him time because what he did at Napoli, he needed 3-4 seasons in order to see Sarri ball or whatever it is. So there was a wedge. There was like, Sarri isn't a Chelsea man. Obviously the F Sarri ball chance and whatnot. The fan base was split. So I think in some ways, bring in glue. People on Twitter and social media and people outside of just London in general, just like that West London core, they love Frank Lampard. And the people who match-going fans who are in the 42,000 at Stamford Bridge, obviously they're going to love Frank Lampard as well. So we give Frank Lampard the glue. Bang, everybody's back together again. We're happy for a season. The press conference, he comes in. He's a Chelsea legend. He holds up the shirt. Everybody's kind of happy. I wasn't, but generally speaking, people are excited that Frank Lampard is manager again. Or not again, but Frank Lampard has come back and been manager. Like, I think those 3 things, just who's going to take the job given the circumstances that were there. It's kind of a trendy thing to do, to hire a club legend. And because it's a club legend, it kind of brings everyone together, or at least that's probably what they were thinking. But then we have the realism that this guy probably is less than capable to get the results that we want, which then will create a divide in and of itself.
Yeah, and I think just one more point to that was Chelsea saw the transfer ban as an opportunity to bring some youth through the youth team. And if you know, one of the biggest issues with Sarri was the fact that Sarri did not understand the youth players at Chelsea, especially Callum Hudson-Odoi. Yeah. So bringing someone in who kind of, understood that whole youth environment, had seen some of them, your Lampard, your Jose Morris, your Joe Edwards, and all that kind of stuff, was another key reason they brought him in. But hey, get him out, man.
All right, let me just hit some of your questions, man. So, from Latin Lozario, Happy New Year, love y'all. Here's to 3-0 at the moment. 3-0. Which one is? Oh, is that 3-0 at Chelsea? Latin, man, screw you, bro.
Is that 3 a.m. at the moment? 3 a.m. at the moment.
Oh, okay. Gatlock says.
Half was so quick to cuss him, bro. He didn't know what he meant, so he's like, "Fuck you."
Okay, so I think so. Courtly Awesome says Vibe FC is my favorite London club. Courtly Awesome, screw you, Bayern fan. Lead level Ludio. Get Maxi on. I want a real Chelsea fan's opinion. Hell no. I'm never speaking to Maxi for the rest of my life.
That guy, yeah?
No. From Gatlock says, gotta go. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year, Gatlock. Happy New Year. Los Colchoneros says, make a rule. Everyone on this show wears shades. Nope. I don't think that's going to happen. And Coastly Awesome says, Happy New Year to everyone, man.
I don't think I own a pair of shades.
So, guys, last 10 minutes, we'll just take some questions. So, guys, send in some questions, guys. Send in some questions. Last 10 minutes, send in some questions.
Bro, Gatlock dropped 50 pounds in the thing, bro.
Wait, did?
Yeah, you kind of just skipped over that.
Oh,
50. That's a big
oh,
donation,
wow.
bro.
Oh, damn. No, because I couldn't even
He's
see.
giving you so much shit, he probably owes it to you. But
Gatlock,
it's
that's
guilt.
Gatlock
It's
is
guilt
living in
money.
Nigeria.
It's
How did
guilt
that
money
guy
from
had
all the
50 pounds?
clips.
Gatlock, that is emotional payments, embarrassments payments, and what's it called? Minimums, because the way that you've embarrassed me on payment, you maybe go through a whole court case where Daniel failed to actually get me off. So that is
I
emotional
wasn't your
payments.
lawyer. I was the prosecution. I don't know why you made me do that, but
yeah,
Red
you
failed to
prosecuted me,
get
man.
you off.
But Gatlock, appreciate it, man. Thank you,
But
bro. Thank you, bro.
there was literally nothing
Love,
you
bro,
could do.
love.
Richard,
Thank
can you
you,
check
love,
your
bro.
Twitter DM? I sent you something about the way Timo Werner plays and the way Lampard plays him. That is where I want us to have a dialogue a little bit about.
If Lampard stays, Abdullahi's going to be bald.
Can you check the DM? Because the way Nagelsmann plays Timo Werner is different.
Your hairline's getting worse, Abdullahi, bro. Don't let Lampard stretch you out, B, man.
So I'm like, okay, Lido man.
See, Nagelsmann plays Timo Werner as a number 9. You see, he has two strikers. Do you see the difference between the way Nagelsmann plays him and the way Lampard plays him? Nagelsmann plays two strikers. He plays 3-5-2 or 4-2-2-2 diamond. But Frank Lampard plays 4-3-3 and they play 4-2-3-1. You play from you can play from the wing, but under Nagelsmann, Timo Werner is playing as an inside forward, more as a number as a striker. But under Lampard, he's playing as a winger. So there's a problem in which Lampard is using Timo Werner. Timo Werner is not that bad, but if you look at the way he's being played, is the problem in which everybody is having with Lampard. Lampard can switch the formation. He can do it. He's done it before. So what is keeping him not doing it?
This is why I asked the question. Do you think, like, you can identify that a player can be useful, but if you don't know the situations and formations and tactical situations where you would put him in or plug him into something, then what is the point? So people are saying, oh man, Frank Lampard called up Ziyech and he called up Havertz and he called up Chilwell and he called up Silva and he called up all these different players and they agreed to come because of him. That's great. That's fantastic. But if he doesn't know what to do with them, if he's going to play Werner as an out-and-out left winger instead of playing him as a secondary striker, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, like at least try Werner up top. But the problem is, if you do that, then where do you play Tammy? Where do you play Giroud? You know, so I don't.
But it's just not working. Where Werner's been played now, and him being so isolated out on that left flank.
But I think Lampard is so wedded to 4-3-3 that anything, or just 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, whatever it is. I don't think he wants to try the 5 at the back in a consistent. Even though he has the personnel for it in theory, James would be a good right wing back. Chilwell in theory could be a left wing back. There's more than enough center backs at the club to fill 3 spots. Conte, we know, plays well in it too, even though I wouldn't want to see it. Kovacic alongside Conte kind of makes too much sense. I don't know why he doesn't do that. And then the front 3 or front 2, whatever you want, can pick itself. So it makes sense, but I don't think that's his idea of what he wants to see Chelsea playing. I think he's more in like, let's do what Klopp is doing with 4-3-3 or Guardiola is doing with 4-3-3 or maybe that's just a club instructive that we don't want to play 3 at the back anymore. We want to play a more expansive, attacking style of football. So do what the...
But Daniel, Nagelsmann plays more attacking, more free fluid football.
He does
play
play
more
in the
central.
It is
play
the
more
Bundesliga.
central.
It is the
He's in the
Bundesliga.
Bundesliga.
Okay, let's, because that's actually to this guy's question. So this guy says, do you think that Lampard should be replaced by a proactive manager? Because modern day football is not defensive, it's more attacking. Me personally, Ten Hag, Nagelsmann, or Tuchel. Ten Hag, get him out of there because he's a philosophy merchant. I would take either Nagelsmann or Tuchel. Ten Hag, no way.
See, Ten Hag, I don't know how to judge him outside of Ajax because Ajax are, if not the best, the second best just structured club in Europe, I would say. Like, they can have that debate with Bayern Munich. The manager follows what Ajax wants. It's not, hey, you decide whatever you want to do. Like, no. You're coming here, you're playing this way. We've been playing this way since the 70s, the 60s, however long it's been. So, Ten Hag, I don't know what he would do if he was left to his own devices. Perhaps you'd see a different version, but because you're Ajax manager, you have to play 4-3-3. That's just what they do. Nagelsmann, I guess we've had the discussion already. Tuchel is interesting. I don't know if I'd see Nagelsmann. I've already told you I would like that because I think he's the young manager with the ideas, who's had the experience,
He's the
and
maverick.
that actually
He's
makes
the young
sense.
Maverick, yeah.
Tuchel, I would get rid of him for Lampard, clearly.
Oh, for sure. Now,
But
would
it's
you
the
just go
idea
out
that
and
like
get him?
is that the right move?
No,
given the
it's not.
options.
No,
I'm
it's
not.
not.
If Nagelsmann is the option, then you take him. And if he fails, then at least you can say that made sense at the time.
Yeah.
Lampard failing, it's never made sense outside of the fact that his name's Frank Lampard. But even any one of those three names, they make sense. It's just that which one is the best.
Any one of those three will make sense for the short term. Like if you want a 3 to 5 year project, get one of these guys. But if you're trying to do what Chelsea think they want to do, where they want a manager to come in and sit for 10, 15 years, build something, build a first team squad, a youth squad, go get yourself an experienced manager, man. Just at the end of the season, walk to Everton and get Carlo Ancelotti, bring him back to come do this thing, because that's the only way you're gonna get what you want. These guys are good, but when things go south, they haven't experienced it at a big club like that. That is the same thing Lampard is going through right now. So let's not
see. Like
Daniel said something, and I was happy about it. Is under the era of Lampard, when we had Drogba, Anelka, Malouda, those kind of players, there's a player powers in them that yes, we don't want this, get them out. After the Arsenal match, Lampard went 2 hours runs with those players. 2 players out of those players were not with Lampard. Lampard brought those 2 players. He vouched for them, but those 2 players are turning on him already. They're saying we don't want to play for Lampard anymore. He doesn't know what he's doing. Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. Those 2 players, Lampard vouched for them. Those players are already turning their back. They are turning their back on Lampard already. We don't want to play with him.
You know what? I wonder. Do you think if what Abdullahi thinks is true, could it be how Rudiger's been treated?
Germany.
Because Rudiger in the summer was like agent Antonio. Like I made the calls and then disappeared. It's like I don't. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say that, but it's like he's disappeared. I wonder if because like that German connection that they have, maybe Rudiger could, I don't like Lampard, this and that, and maybe you can get into that.
Because my thing is that
you can't know.
You can tell that Timo Werner isn't happy with how he's being used. Now, some of that is his fault because of your missing chances, the chances that you're missing. But you can just tell that he isn't happy receiving the ball so deep and having to do a lot more defensive work than he did for Red Bull Leipzig. Havertz, I'm hardly being played. And even when you freaking play me, you moron, you play me either deep in the middle 3 or out wide. When you know
he's played in 4 different places already.
4.
He's played on the wing. False
right
9,
wing,
number
left
10,
wing,
and number 8.
Number 10.
Just play him just do a 4-2-3-1. Put him as a number 10.
Pick a place, Frank.
No.
And just
it's number 10 because it's a new league. It's a tougher league. Don't complicate things. I get that he played many different positions in Bundesliga because Bundesliga is different. They have a lot more space. You have a lot more time. In a new league, what is your strongest position? My strongest position is number 10. I can also be a support striker. Cool.
Question. Do you guys think that how do I ask this and get the right answer, I wonder? Do you guys think that there's a manager that Chelsea could hire that could last longer than 5 seasons?
Under Abramovich.
Under Abramovich.
I think Nagelsmann or Tuchel could last. Because this is Roma. If you are doing something and both the board and the owner, like everybody on the same point, like this is what we want, the manager will last. If the fans are kind of turning on the manager, that's where the problem is going to be.
Wait, Daniel. A manager who is available or any manager?
Any.
Oh, Klopp. Bring Klopp. That guy,
Klopp.
If you support him. No, say Klopp. Support him. Give me my players. He will give you results.
You know, the funny part is
why
Klopp was 2 months away from being Chelsea manager. Because Brendan Rodgers was sacked in October. Mourinho was sacked in December, I think. And I wonder if Brendan Rodgers stays at Liverpool and Klopp, because he's free from Dortmund, and Mourinho goes, probably ends up at Chelsea. But
I think that's why I said Ancelotti before, because
I don't think anybody can last though, Eddie.
Yeah. Well, maybe because of Roman, but my thing with this league is you get figured out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And from then on, it's what the hell do you do? These guys haven't faced that. You know, the leagues they're playing, just every other team focuses on themselves. They play in the German league where, Tuchel's coming from a one-team league. Ubaitz, who's trying to work you out there. In the German league, no one's trying to play pragmatic football to figure out a certain team. Once you get figured out in the Premier League, you have to reinvent yourself. You have to do something, tweak a few things. I don't think these guys have been in that position before, which is why I'm saying if there's anyone that can do it the longest, Ancelotti.
And this guy says, why are you guys so impatient? Lampard needs time. See how Ole and Klopp are doing right now. I will stand with Lampard even if it means bloody relegation. See, I don't know if you're trolling or not.
This is Max's burner account. This is Max's burner account.
Yeah, I think it's a burner account, man.
Who
could we bring back from the Loner Army?
Actually, have hope. Could you look up go to Chelsea on Wikipedia and look up who's on loan? Because I have no idea at this point. Outside of who's on loan, Michy's on loan.
There's like 5,000 guys on loan, man.
See, the thing with the loan army, some people have hyped some of the players on loan that it's just sad. Like I want to say Mark Gurley right now, but I haven't seen the guy play enough for me to say he will be a star at Chelsea. But if you look at Chelsea Twitter, he's been overhyped.
So
let me bear with me.
Who is Eugene Tenenbaum? All right, here we go. Ethan Wadey.
Jesus Christ!
No idea who that is. Jamal Blackman. Hope maybe
wait,
one
these are
day.
all loans?
Yeah,
It's crazy. All right, so Jamie Cumming. Pause.
Nathan Baxter.
Okay, here we go. Names we recognize. Zappacosta can't help. Ampadu is interesting, but I think he needs more time.
Mark Guehi.
I've heard about him, but
I've heard about him.
Eddie Raisin.
Matt Meazga.
Lucas Piazon.
Victor Moses.
Keep going down. Is that it?
Bakayoko.
Gosh, man, this is crazy.
Chalaba.
Easy Brown.
These guys are all on loan?
It's called an army for a reason, have hope. Have you never looked at
Batshuayi.
Daniel will take it personally. Let's not. See, Victor Moses, I love you, fellow Nigerian, but
he turned 30 earlier in the month.
Yeah. Scroll up. HH.
So Batshuayi, Izzy Brown, Bakayoko. See, Bakayoko
Bankikel
should be useful, but he won't be. So it's really the only three names that I can vouch for are Loftus-Cheek, Barkley, and like maybe Conor Gallagher is a good one to keep an eye on.
So have you heard of this?
Ampadu too.
Have I heard of Lucas Piazon? Yes, I've heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of him before.
If he makes the penalty, because I forget, did they play Villa and they were up like 6-1 or 7-0 or something, and he had a penalty and he missed it. And if he made the penalty, I suspect that his Chelsea career goes far differently. But shit happens.
Of those on loan, I'll probably say Ian Matson. Because, he's the one
There's a lot of mid.
If you're bringing someone back right now, he's the one we need.
There's a lot of mid.
Yeah, that's the problem. We have a lot of midfielders as well at the moment. So
no, not midfielders, just mid, just not very good.
All right.
Let me throw this question to
Eddie
and then Daniel now. Let me throw. I know it's early, but why are we wasting money on jollof rice, Ghana rice, fried rice, Nigerian rice? Why don't we integrate Ampadu into the team? I know he's young.
Because Ampadu's not good enough. Stop. No. I don't want to. Let's not do this nonsense again with this Chelsea youth players. Yeah,
Eddie,
he's
question
not good
though:
enough yet.
is Ampadu better than spending 70 million on Declan Rice? Is the question.
Ampadu
Yes.
is better.
Is
Ampadu
Ampadu
is
now?
better.
I don't know if Ampadu's better than Declan Rice, but
Yeah.
think about the political.
But does it worth it spending that money?
Think about the political ramifications of buying a player for 70 million, as what we've seen with Morata, what we've seen with Torres, what we've
Kepa.
seen with so many other players, Kepa included. Do you spend 70 million on Rice? Which is a weird sentence.
I will.
Or do you play Ampadu? For me, I think the safer option, at least just for Lampard's own security, bring in Ampadu. Because if you bring in Rice, then that has too many ramifications on the squad and what he'll be forced to do because of the price tag.
Because
So that's kind of the 3D.
Ampadu can play left back, central back, DM. So what do you want?
I said, no, Lampard scares me. This guy is really going to sign off on 70 million for Declan Rice.
It's 60 or
January,
70.
we
But
are
I'm
buying
using the
Declan
higher
Rice.
price. It's 60 or 70,
January.
but I'm using the higher price to make it sound.
I will never agree with paying 70 million for an ex-youth product. But have you seen the reason why? Have you seen the reason why Lampard wants Declan Rice?
He's a leader.
Oh, he talks.
But Ampadu has those same leadership qualities.
Ampadu, yes, exactly. I'm going there. Exactly. He had the same thing.
But then again, just AJ, just quickly. The idea that Lampard didn't want Nathan Ake for I think 30 or 40 million doesn't give me much faith that he's going to play Ampadu. And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, so guys, let's just round this off. I'll put up an image, give me your thoughts, and then we'll then round off because I want to bring in the new year. Because I don't want to bring in the new year talking about and being angry with Lampard. So I don't want that. So please.
You have 29 minutes? 29 minutes?
Yeah. Of course, but we're going to be out here very soon. Thoughts?
Should have gone bald sooner, I think. Too injury prone.
You took the words right.
Two injuries.
Because people forget that. I remember when he came, because I remember he came, then he got injured when he first came. So, oh, damn. And then I was reading an article that said, this guy's actually quite injury prone. Then once he got fit, for that short period of time, the guy was extremely good. And I was like, my gosh, man, if Chelsea keep all this rubber, this guy is going to be insane. But he then got another massive injury. Things happened, then moved over. So imagine what could have been if he didn't have injury issues. He had been kept.
But, okay, this is the interesting part that I don't think many people think about. He wanted to go to Madrid. And I don't think I can blame anybody who wants to go to Madrid. Like Eden Hazard, I understood why you want to go to Madrid. And for a time, the money that Chelsea got from Iron Robben was the most they ever received in a transfer until I forget when it was when someone broke that record. I think it might have been Juan Mata for 37 million when he went to United. It could have been that long, to where the sale that Robben to Madrid was the most money they'd ever received from a footballer. So it's not like Chelsea were robbed and he wanted to go to Real Madrid, which makes total sense. And that people were calling him, Mr. Glass, and he was always injured and all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense. In the context of 2007 or 2008, it makes sense. But yeah, I don't think Robben becomes the player that we understand him to be, given his given his Bayern Munich time. If he doesn't go there, if he stays at Chelsea, he doesn't become who he became. And it's the same thing with Salah. If Salah stays and he doesn't go to Italy and then go to Liverpool, if he stays at Chelsea, he's not the player that he is today. If Kevin De Bruyne doesn't go to Wolfsburg and then Manchester City, if he stays at Chelsea, he's not the player that we know today.
Yeah.
If Lukaku stays at Chelsea and doesn't go to West Brom, Everton, Manchester United, Inter, he's not the striker that he is today if he's playing for Chelsea. And Robben is the same story. So it's always fun to look back and think, man, if Robben would have just stayed fit. But he's not going to be the kind of, I don't know,
the Robben
Terminator type of player that he
That's
developed
good.
into at Bayern. I don't think he does that at Chelsea, but maybe. And that's always the fun thing to think about. Like, what if?
So Any other thoughts on Robben at Chelsea?
But yes, he should have cut his hair because he looked crazy.
Too much injury prone. I did not enjoy Robben very well. Like when he plays for Bayern
You
Munich.
said he flopped. You said he flopped. I heard
Yeah,
that
it was.
right now.
He was injury prone and flop. He did.
There's no many flop.
Do you know what? I have a good example. Callum Hudson-Odoi. The player that he could become if he goes to Bayern Munich will be a far better product than the one he will become if he's stuck at Chelsea.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Yes.
That is true.
1000% agree.
And that's the kind of Robben scenario that I wonder. Because he was already good. But does he become Robben at Chelsea? I don't know.
No, I don't think
Because
so,
like the amount of just great players that were at Chelsea, the spotlight of Drogba, Lampard, Terry, Cech, Cole, Essien, Cech. I don't. Can he become his own superstar like he was at Bayern Munich with those other stars around him? I don't think so.
I don't think he would have. Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Guys, it has been swell. I am now going to be ringing the new year. Well, Eddie. So, Eddie, what does 2021 look like, and should we be scared?
I told you guys in the group chat before. Chelsea are undefeated in 2021, so that's a good start. The HH might be popping some bottles.
Actually, don't pop some bottle. If you are popping some bottle, pop some water, ice water, water.
Pop some water.
Ice water. But
So,
yeah, man. Other than that, it's all cool. So looking good here. I got the shades 2021. Not joking.
Oh, actually, no, because I was doing this, I was reporting for my part-time job about how you guys are having issues, I think, in Sydney and Australia with regards to the New Year's Eve celebration. That says that New Year's Eve could be cancelled. So what did it still go ahead? New Year's Eve celebration.
Well, I usually don't go out anyways. But most people were home. The fireworks still went on, but people couldn't go to the actual venue to watch it. It was just more if you live close to the city, watch it from outside your window. If you don't, watch it on TV. But yeah, people couldn't go out anyways. Yeah, fuck COVID, but what can you do?
Damn.
Yeah,
MF,
I think
MF Doom passed, guys.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man, that's crazy.
Because
And
we're pretty much
he died in
still-
October,
Yeah.
and they kept it under wraps for a couple months.
Yeah, because Sydney is pretty much almost back in lockdown. To be honest, so
You don't know. We're on tier 4 here in London, man. So it's like everyone is stuck in the house here.
you see, it's actually smart what you guys are doing because we here in Australia, they're trying to do everything else but go in lockdown. That's the problem. Like you think, just lock everybody down for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and get everything back under control. But
You should
no,
move to New
it's
Zealand,
like-
Eddie. You should move to New Zealand, bro.
Nah, it's all right. It's all good. I'm good. It's all good, right?
No. But I think it's because you don't have as many cases as over here in England. Because in England, it's all crazy. Because this is where the variance is. It's mad. Boris Johnson is a brick. So lockdown has been enforced because he wanted to do herd immunity. So, but I think, and also lockdown hasn't proved to be that effective even.
Because
But-
people don't follow it, man.
Because people don't follow it.
Yeah, no one's gonna follow.
But
it.
that's the best way to control it, though. I mean, yes, we don't have that many cases, but this is how the second wave in Victoria started, which is another state here in Australia. Because we keep hearing of 6 cases now, 10 cases tomorrow, 9 cases. All of a sudden, it's gonna be 50 cases and starts multiplying. Just get everyone back in their houses, man. I don't mind lockdown, to be honest. That's what I'm saying.
All right, guys. Look, man, it's been swell. It's been good. Hopefully, you may see us here next Thursday. If Chelsea do lose to Man City,
I like it. I like the word you said. If that's a big if.
If that's a big if.
You play Man City on Sunday. That's a big if.
Guys, it's been
Please
swell.
don't say
It's been
that.
lovely. Abdullahi, please eat healthily. Please.
I'm eating jollof rice already.
No,
Lampard already
Abdullahi.
taking a lot of them out of my mind.
Abdullahi needs a full relaxation day. I'm telling you, this guy has been stressed for the past 7 days. You have no
Look,
idea. HH.
Yeah, he's because people say, "Oh man, Abdullahi is on this." Abdullahi
Abdullahi
is
is on Twitter, he's on YouTube, every freaking thing. He's on DMs. I'm like, yo, calm down.
Abdullahi, take this out medication, man. Please, I beg. So, guys, peace out. Stay true. We'll see you guys next week, guys. Peace.